Hey, what's up, you beautiful people on the internet? My name is John, but people call me Narwhal, and I am here today to talk about Fantastic Four. Not the 2015 one yet. That video will be in 4 days from now, but we're talking about the OG, the 2005 one. Now, you might be wondering, John, why the hell would you watch Fantastic Four from 2005 in 2021? That is a great question, because I'm not quite sure either, but I'm in the midst of a challenge right now where I'm watching through every single superhero movie ever made in order and reviewing every single one of them, and sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and watch Fantastic Four. Now, I'd heard from some people, some diehard fans of the comics that, you know, the 2005 one is actually pretty good, and it's, the term campy is what I've heard tossed around. My buddy was like, oh, it's campy. It's corny, but it's on purpose, and that adds to the charm and the appeal of it. But I could not disagree more. I guess that style of really over-the-top cheesy superhero stuff is appealing to some people, but to me it makes me want to blow my brains out. I found absolutely nothing about this movie enjoyable at all. First of all, the audio mixing was trash. I had to raise and lower my volume like 9 times throughout this movie because every time there's a fight scene, it gets really fucking loud, and as soon as the fight scene's over, it gets really quiet. I was very committed to sitting through this whole movie and trying to appreciate it and to enjoy it, but as soon as I watched that snowboarding sequence where basically Chris Evans' character named Human Torch finds out that he has powers as he's snowboarding. He like catches on fire and then he flies off of a huge cliff and then lands in the snow, and then it turns into a perfectly shaped hot tub where him and Jessica Alba can do whatever they do in the hot tub that he made in the mountains. And this is a good time to mention that it is so obvious that they try to sexualize Jessica Alba and Chris Evans every single time they get a chance. And I know it was early 2000s, that was kind of the thing, but this movie was just blaringly obvious and almost just annoying. There's a solid 10 minutes where Chris Evans' character got back from the whole snowboarding incident and he's just wearing like a women's jacket or something tied around his waist, and other than that, he's just not wearing anything. And not that it's like the biggest deal in the world, it's more just annoying that I realize what they're doing. And Chris Evans isn't even the worst one. Jessica Alba, God, I would have been annoyed if I was her, to be honest. Also, there's a scene where the big rock guy, you know, I don't even want to look up his name, but the guy that's like the Hulk, but he's made of orange rocks or whatever the fuck. There's a scene where he jumps in the middle of a highway to save someone from the oncoming cars, and he saves the one guy, but he causes this huge crash, and it shows like a lot of the cars colliding in the crash, and I guarantee that more people died in that car crash than the one person he saved, in which case he's causing more harm than good, and he's defeating the whole purpose of being a superhero. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, I committed the cardinal sin of all movie watchers. I fell asleep. And let me just say right now, I am not one to fall asleep during movies. Like, I don't do it often. I feel like I'm pretty good at not doing that because usually I can find something to get invested in. But dear God, this movie is so bad. Like, it's not so bad it's good. It's not so bad it's funny. It's just so bad. Don't ever watch it. But in the midst of me falling asleep and kind of waking back up and glancing at it, I basically got the gist that as soon as the country discovered that they had these superpowers, they immediately just had a huge fan base, like outside of their building, in the capital, or whatever city they're in. Don't you think the general public would be a little more alarmed or at least cautious of them right after finding out that there's these 4 people that have these wild superpowers? I can't believe that there would be like thousands of people with signs supporting them, saying how much they love them right after they get discovered. That's all I really have to say about this movie. Like I said, I have heard the argument that this movie is very true to the comics, and that if you've read the comics, you can appreciate and enjoy this movie because all the characters are pretty accurate, and, you know, it's colorful, it's bright, it's fun, I guess, somehow. But that just doesn't make a good movie to me. But if you like it, I'm glad, and I guess that's the subjective part of films, is that some things resonate with certain people and some things don't. You know, I really love the movie Break, which was filmed entirely in the trunk of a car, and it's not the best movie, but I love it. But I can totally see why someone would watch that and absolutely hate it and think it was a waste of their time. So if you enjoyed this movie, I'm really glad. Please let me know in the comments down below why you enjoyed it if you did. If you didn't, let me know what you thought of it. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. watching. Be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new. If you want more content, be sure to check out my podcast called Peak to Middle School with me and my buddy Kyle. It's a fantastic show. I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't even mean to say fantastic, but I'm talking about Fantastic Four, and then I said my podcast is fantastic, and it is so fitting, and it's so perfect. Listen, if you like these videos, you'll like my podcast. That's all I have to say, all right? So check it out. It's all linked down below. I've sucked an ear.
You sucked an ear?
Yeah, not the whole ear, the ear lobe.
You'll just hear breathing in their ear. Dude, have you ever had, you're in a movie theater, and you ask like someone a question and they whispered. You ever had someone just whisper super hot in your ear?
Yeah.
And you're just like, every time I used to be in the movie theater as a kid, I learned not to ask questions during a movie because I would ask my mom. I'd say, hey mom, why did this happen? Or what's that? Like I was just young and confused.
Yeah.
And she would give me the most whispering answer in my ear ever.
Wait,
she's just like, this thing. And I'm like, okay.
How else are they supposed to answer, though? Now I'm going to go watch the second Fantastic Four movie with the Silver Surfer. Wish me luck.